eventually that are going to play that eventually whether patient will make it or will not make it. I've seen a case in which I think 5-year-old, the brain matter was almost outside the hair. You know what is when you see brain matter outside. Just say, let's just take a risk, let's manage, eventually we discharge. I have seen a case in which you think that this should not be a big deal, and before you turn to right or left, you started getting complicated, and look at it, wow, we don't expect that this will go this way. So what we'll do is to ensure that we try our best to ensure that we give out the best to the society. Yeah,
so let's try and focus this discussion. What do you think hospitals can do to be able to protect medical workers? Because it's becoming very recurrent. Almost in the whole of Southwest, we've had cases like this recurrent. And with the spate of this violence, it can make the hospital a place where doctors are actually scared of coming to work.
Thank you very much. Recently, there are a lot of doctors in various hospitals threatening to abandon their workplace because there's a threat to their life because of this violence against doctors. Well, I just strongly believe that our people at home are not well informed about this whole scenario.
So there's a need for public
enlightenment on this matter. Okay. Such a way that you see that these doctors are also members of the community.
Yeah.
I live just beside your house.
Yes.
We meet on the street.
Yes.
I wake up in the morning just like every other person.
Yeah.
Goes to work. That's the same way. I also attend and do my job. So doing my job should not be a threat to my life. So basic understanding that we are there, we are part of you, we are here to help you. Just like
we are human beings like you.
Just like the slogan of the police.
Okay.
Usually they say that police are your friends.
Yes.
Of course, doctors.
We are also your friends.
We are your friends. We are not meant to be slaughtered. We are not meant to be beaten. Yes. We are together. The overall aim is to ensure that the members of the public are fine.
Yes. Apart from that, what other forms of education?
Yeah. The other, I think that there should be a program. Basically, what I've said. For public enlightenment on this matter.
What should be the content of the program?
Yes, the content.
Because I also feel somebody comes around with a lot of rumor and says that there's a particular machine they're supposed to use and they're not using it. You know, sort of rumors keep going around, relatives milling around, somebody they brought around.
That's why I said the public enlightenment will be from unit to unit.
Okay.
What are the causes of problem in each of the units?
Okay.
And those are the points that will be used to address the public. You will not believe there was a day just in the ICU, just beside the ICU, they were gisting. And as we were talking, they were telling themselves that doctors, they will go ahead and they will be pressing somebody's chest. They are going to be the one to kill the person.
Okay.
Because they don't understand cardiopulmonary.
And that means to resuscitate.
The aim is to resuscitate.
To bring life. And then some people think they want to kill.
They want to kill. That's
like a friend of mine told me jocularly that when they said, they should bring $1 million, they say, how many bags of water have they given them? The other doctor said, yes, even though we add water at times, there are times we also give drugs to remove water.
That's another.
So you can't say
you continue to. That's why I said you have to continue enlightenment from units to unit. What is peculiar to this? Somebody wanted to die, airway obstruction. We have to do tracheostomy.
Yeah.
Once you do tracheostomy, eventually they lost the patient of tracheostomy.
Wow.
The family came and said, "What are you saying? You have already slaughtered the person. You are saying the person. What do we think the person will not die?"
Thank you, Dr.
Because the basic understanding of tracheostomy
is somebody slaughtering.
Is somebody slaughtering.
I think this is getting interesting, and I hope viewers at home, you're actually following up on this program. A lot of education, a lot of clarification of some of our doubts, some of it. So we want to go on a short break to come back to continue this discussion. Thank you.
Turn it up! It's the Wild Wild West, and Western Spring Television is pulling out all the stops to make sure that you don't miss out on every of the fun and happenings around here. Yup, we've got you covered because your girl got all the juiciest tidbits and entertainment news from around the world. cross over to the chocolate side of entertainment. Join me, Chocolate Cassie, on Eccentric as we take you into every bit of the juiciest news, fashion, music, movie updates, and other trending conversations. Together on the show, we'll get personal with your favorite celebrities via phone call, Zoom, or even live here in the studio. Eccentric will be showing on your TV screen on Western Spring Television, channel 190, only on Star Times.
Sports is a culture on its own. It has its own language, its own people, with their own way of life. The world of sports is never void of actions, stories, dramas, and scandals. I guess you need a sports show that can walk the walk and talk the talk.
On this show, we answer all your sporting questions. The whens, the whys, the wheres, and even the what ifs. Sports Spring is that show that will give you that new lease of life you've been looking for in sports journalism. Join me, Joseph Atewe,
And your sports Amazon, Nengi Ernest.
on this station, Western Spring Television, channel 190, only on Star Times.
Let's talk sports. Let's speak the most universal language of the world.
Yes, viewers, you are welcome back to the second segment of our program, the Spring Clinic. I have here with me Dr. Erin Folami. He's a consultant anesthetist. He is also past president of Association of Resident Doctors of Union Teaching Hospital, and of course, former secretary of Nigerian Medical Association, Osun State Branch. We've been talking about violence in the hospital against medical workers, and it's been a very interesting discussion. The point we were making before the the break was about the fact that what can we do, what can the hospital do, and then of course part of it was that we're talking about public enlightenment on on certain. And you have prescribed.
Osun is doing something on that on every Thursday here. I think
so, rave,
half hour.
I see that.
They do public enlightenment on issues.
And that's quite interesting. So apart from that, do maybe doctors need to be armed now to come to work or something, or bulletproof vest?
No. What I encourage health workers to do is to, as much as possible, to explain the situation of things. Good communication skills as much as possible. That's what I said. Once they bring in patient, explain the state of things to them. You are not a magician. You are not occultic. Explain the state of things.
This is science.
Science.
We are only trying to, yes.
We're only trying to help. This is the situation of things. GCS 5. We'll try what we could, but this is a bad case. I have a bad case now. I have a scenario in which I told the son about his mother, that the mother is a terrible case. I'm going to try my best, what I can do, but it's a bad case. The son eventually turned out, we are very good friends now. He told me one day that he hated me so much
when
at the initial phase, while I was explaining.
Based on facts that you have gathered.
He said he directed his aggression to my person, whereas I was talking about the situation on ground. Eventually, we lost the mother.
Oh, wow.
So we became friends after the whole scenario. While we were discussing, he said, well, later he appreciates what I said because the scenario helped him to prepare his mind. So good communication still. Don't be too, because and the problem also in the hospital is that usually they don't speak with one voice. The doctors are explaining the same. The doctor and the nurses are explaining what is happening critically. There's one word not
that has no idea.
They are not clear about the disease condition. Telling the family outside that within a short time.
So what can we do about that, please?
That is why I said it's the hospital. The hospital also must educate the ward orderlies. Yes. They must ensure that the ward orderlies are
they are part of the team.
They are part of the team.
They come inside the theater.
In fact, they are the one that is most mobile. Because there's no definitive. They are all going in, they are going out, they're going in, informing the people outside. As against what the information they have there. Just imagine you have IUFD and oddly is telling the family outside that the baby will be in a short while. One of them last week was like that, and baby made it, and all sorts of things. So all of that will give them
harmony of information. we work as a team.
As a team, let
the
them
education, the voice must be the same.
The same. Let them see that it's the same voice.
That's good.
Once there are changes here and there, then that's usually when they say they
Any
want
need
to
for
see
some
you, they want to see you.
policemen or soldiers to
Yeah,
get,
well, that is imperative and is a
especially I
must.
think around the emergency.
Yeah, around emergency is a must that we must have a form of security. In fact, I want to say they should be armed.
Yeah.
Those there, the people there should be armed, not because of anything. All of this scenario happened mostly at emergencies.
Yes, please, because
where they want you to attend to the patient now. They brought in.
And emotions are high.
Emotions are very high.
Yeah.
You have a patient, they have sometimes cults here and there, they've stabbed themselves. They also want you to treat now. They don't look at the severity of the injury they came with. They want to harass people. They want to vandalize.
So there may be a need for the hospital management to have some form of security.
Yes, sir.
Around the emergency.
At least around the emergency.
24 hours.
24 hours, sir.
So
24 hours.
that lives will be spared. What other thing do you think can be done by the hospital, or we move to?
Well,
is there any policy?
No, government also should. Most of these things, government will be of help because policies must be in place to keep people at check. Just like I cannot go to a mechanic workshop and beat up the artisan.
When he said that your car will not be ready tomorrow.
When he said my car will spend 3 days because of the brake, there's nothing I can do.
Maybe because life is involved here.
That is the problem.
Actually, and so we need to be able to be proactive.
That's what keeps the emotions high here because life is involved. But you must also not forget that it is the place of work of a doctor.
Absolutely.
Where he should be secured, where he should be calm to perform his job. Once there's a threat and you can't think straight,
That's true.
the patient also will not benefit. There won't be full benefit.
Yes.
Once you cannot do that, there's a place of the community leaders.
Okay.
Because most times these people that perpetrate this evil comes from one community or the other. They come in group from the community. So if there is a say, sometimes they are armed. Sometimes the way they even make comments, they want to agitate. The way the comment they made in the hospital sometimes infuriates.
How about the role of religion?
All of these things. Yeah, religious leaders will also be of help in this. The KBACs,
because you know there are some religious beliefs too that will actually run against the intervention of doctors.
Yeah, majorly we have issue of most times this when you want to do autopsy.
Autopsy, yes.
You're going to have issue with somebody who is
who doesn't believe that dead bodies have to be dismembered.
The religious belief is that dead body has to be buried as soon as possible. So that you have to also look into this, look at the hospital policy. Sometimes when you explain to some of the leaders in the religious set, sometimes they feel that it should go ahead. Sometimes they say no about it. But sometimes there is some issue of position of the law. Just allow the hospital and the family to take over. Don't be too much in front. Be careful the way you make statements. I
also think the public also needs to know that even if they now feel aggrieved,
there's a place to redress.
Yes,
there is a legal action. You can put up any legal action towards anybody. Once you feel somehow about any form of management, instead of vandalization, instead of all this threat of a thing. If you issue threats against a person, and the person dies tomorrow, it's as if you've carried out your threats.
Absolutely.
And you may not even part of. So stop issuing threats to people.
Legal redress
on this matter.
And then we should also have some those laws to themselves.
No.
It's not that our practices are not being sanctioned or are not being audited.
There are regulatory bodies who looks into. Even if you just tender your letter to hospital, go to a big mechanic workshop.
Yes.
There are panels, beaters, there are mechanics, there are those who call rewires. There are those who, each of them, I can link each of them to various subspecialty of medicine.
That's
each
correct.
of those specialties. The same way, there are specialties. You have, just like I'm an anesthetist, my guy is a psychiatrist.
Yes,
you have urologists, you have a general surgeon, you have a plastic surgeon, you have a neurosurgeon. All of these are
working together at different times
to ensure
the patient.
a corporate body.
But how about private practice? What do you have to say about private practice?
Well,
you know, there's the private practice opens up a lot of room for quackery. People who are not qualified to handle certain things and are still claiming they are capable.
That is why thank you very much. I'm still talking about education of the public.
Okay.
People sometimes they will say that eventually you choose your doctor, you choose who sees you, you choose who treats you, and eventually because some people don't understand, they sleep the hospital of quacks, where they manage them in a way that it's going to be a very bad case even before they could seek for help. We can only encourage viewers at home to ensure that they are seen by qualified doctors.
And some of them need to be advised.
The viewers at home, or
yes,
the quacks?
viewers at home.
Yeah, where
because I think it's not all doctors. For instance, now it will be difficult for somebody to have stroke and you bring the person to me. I remember some certain antihypertensives, but I don't know how to adjust it.
Yeah,
so there are also cases of some doctors who hold on too strongly or too late to their patient.
Most times is the problem that we have in private setting.
Yeah.
Because majorly is the major concern there is you want to make money, the business part of it, and you don't know when to release.
I said this is the limit of my practice.
I didn't say you should not first admit, but once some don't even, if you are not going to refer, get a specialist opinion
to come and review this.
And review this patient with you. Urologists can come and review prostate issue, and it won't lead to death. In fact, they are going to get fantastic. They are going to say that it was treated in your hospital. The personnel, because if you are discussing quackery, you have to talk about the location. You have to talk about the personnel. The personnel may be okay. The location may not be okay.
Absolutely.
So it depends on. That's why I said we also encourage private practitioners to release patients once they need specialists.
What advice do you give to viewers at home if their patient is brought to a hospital, and of course they are feeling that the doctor does not know what to do again?
Well, the next thing is to talk to the next doctor you know around you, so that you can get, because sometimes that may just be a feeling. And you have to correlate it with a doctor around you.
With a professional.
At least a professional around
you. Not just rumor.
Of one, not just rumor. Explain the situation of this. Somebody had explained to me before, and I told them. Somebody called me and said, I know that the person had leukemia and he had hepatomegaly. And the person called me suddenly.
Leukemia, hepatomegaly, cancer of the blood.
Leukemia is cancer of the blood.
Yeah.
Eventually, those things will seep into the liver, and the liver becomes enlarged. Big, That is hepatomegaly. Yes. And when that becomes big, of course, they still have to go and use chemotherapy, which is the drug for. And the management is not to remove the liver because it's getting swollen because something. So the person called me and said that he's in a place and they're about to do hepatectomy.
They want to cut the liver.
Want to remove the liver. I said, well, if you sleep there and they remove your liver, if you get home, call me bastard. If you get home from that table, if you forget about
that, will have been a quack.
That's the end. That's what I'm saying. So that's the end of your life.
Yeah, because no doctor
they just want to call me that they are ready for theater. You just want to inform me that they want to go and remove the liver. So your liver?
What are you people doing about quacks?
Well, thank you very much. NMA will work with, I work in tandem with the Ministry of Health.
Yeah.
To at least to ensure that sanitization, that the places are sanitized. NMA is not empowered to.
Can we have a directory?
Yes.
Somebody was talking like, those old NITED directories.
Yes.
Is it possible we have the government comes with a directory?
Yes, it's very much possible. NMA is trying to discuss this with the Ministry of Health, so that we can look at it together. Because we're able to even say this is identify this. You can't prosecute anybody as far as NMA is concerned. But Ministry of Health can do in relationship with Nigeria Police.
Yeah.
So we're working in tandem with the Ministry of Health so that there could be numbers in case all of these things happen. Just a way of sanitizing the practice, and we have less of casualty if you are able to do this.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Erinfolami. It's been a very interesting session with you this afternoon. Viewers at home, I want to believe that we have picked one or two lessons here. On the latter mode, you work in a place where you use machine to keep life going. Is it true that you put a machine inside the heart and the heart to be pumping or something? Is that what you do?
Well, no. Thank you very much, sir. What we do is the machine usually works on the lungs. It keeps on ventilating, and breathe in, breathe out.
So they are mechanical ventilators.
So if breathing is not too well, usually all forms of disease will lead to cardiopulmonary arrest.
Yeah.
So
where the heart and the lungs
are no more.
So you have machines that can actually
Yes. It's just like the engine and the gear of a car. Once you don't attend to the gear, the engine also will start going down. So the lungs and the heart are two organs that must, every time you have to support them to keep other parts of the body working. So that's what we do in the ICU.
I think I would need to bring you up on this program again for what I would call palliative care. You know, end organ care or hospice.
End of life
care.
Yes.
You know, when people are dying and all that. Is it true that there's this mercy killing and all of that?
No, it's not. There is mercy killing, but it's not. It's not generally allowed in the law.
Okay.
As much as possible, you give support to the end. You give support, even though no people will die. They should die peacefully. Not that somebody says, I'm tired of this person. What if people come and say, I don't have money again, and please, I want you to switch off the machine. It's still not
acceptable.
It's not acceptable.
I don't think our oath permits that.
No.
And people say our oath permits us to go and on to serve without any recourse from the society. What have you got to say about this?
No.
What's your advice to the society?
Well, the society should work in a way to encourage these people. Some of us, just like you have said, it's not that we don't have an opportunity of traveling out. It's not that we cannot, but some of us feel we should give back.
No, because somebody like you, I remember when I had a patient there, so proud of you. You were there for almost 48 hours. People don't know that your wife does not see you, your children don't see you. You don't know how they sleep, how they wake up and go to school for 48 hours.
Sometimes they wait in the night so that we can see for the day.
Yeah.
At least see for the day. Because they were not seeing in the morning before you leave.
No, because you see, during the COVID time, I learned there were a lot of marital issues, especially in Europe, where some of the doctors will come back home and the wife is saying, please, don't come to the bedroom, stay in the...
Yes, you have to because
stay,
you can infect I've had cause to sleep. I didn't tell my wife. I've had cause to sleep outside before. She doesn't know the reason why I had to sleep outside, because I noticed a cough that I felt might be
actually causing this.
I can't predict.
These are some of the
These
are some of the silent pains that a doctor. But we feel that you doctors are so comfortable. You are omnipotent. You are big, and that you have it all figured out. So you have your moments.
The logo is looking happy. Is well dressed. It looks as if there is nothing.
Anyway, thank you, Dr. Erinfolami.
Thank you very much.
Viewers at home, it's been a very wonderful time today. This afternoon, we have been discussing violence against medical workers in the hospital. I've had the privilege of engaging Dr. Erinfolami, who has actually done justice to this discussion this afternoon. We hope and look forward to having you again on this program.
Thank you very much.
Viewers, we feel that we are going to draw the curtain now. I'm your regular anchor, Dr. Ade Oyewole, on Spring Clinic. Hope to see you this same time next week. Enjoy your evening.